So don't fall for this PhD scam. I think this one is really, really important for all of you to pay attention to. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I create this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward to help you out. There is a lot of scammy institutions that are around, and you have to be very careful with them. And so what do I mean by scammy institutions? They're ones that are charging you an arm and a leg, and you're not getting anything out of it. So I want you to pay attention to this. And we all can identify the institutions that are probably less likely to do that. There is a lot of institutions around that seem like very legit places, and they actually are legitimate places. But and most of them are affiliated, maybe it's with your government or your state or whatever. All of those ones are generally very legitimate. But then you have to think about the ones that are charging. That generally, unfortunately, they tend to be private institutions, that they charge a lot for not a lot to come out of it. So I want you to really rationally think about this in terms of how much you're paying and in terms of what you're gonna get out of it. So I want you to slow it down. If you're thinking of doing some sort of PhD at some place that you're like, or some sort of doctorate of some degree at some place, and they're telling you that you need to pay a large amount of money and you're gonna get this thing, you're probably going to get scammed. If you are willing, if you're thinking about this at this moment, I can almost guarantee you're probably going to get scammed. If it's not some legitimate place that you have recognized, and that is clearly recognized for many places, for many people. So that's the key thing that you want to look at is it recognized by many people? If you were to tell your grandma, I am going to this particular institution, your grandma says, yeah, I know, that's a pretty good one. That's where you want to go to. Those are the institutions. That is the key thing you want to be looking for. Is if you told your grandma or you told somebody that was randomly on the street and you said, I'm going to do my degree at this particular place, and they would be like, yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I know which one that is. That's perfect. That's exactly what you should be looking for. Now, the other thing that you should be looking for is, and nobody does this, and you're going to get scammed. I guarantee you're going to get totally scammed because you're going to think about all these other things. I want you to make a quick little spreadsheet. That's it. Quick little spreadsheet. You can write it down on a lined piece of paper. That's all I want you to do. List the institutions that you are actually applying to. List the institutions, like just name them, whatever. ABC Inc. or ABC School. CBD school, whatever, right? Like all these kind of different things, right? List them out and then have one other column beside it saying how much the tuition actually is going to cost you. That's it, right? Like that's how much, and you add it all up. You can go to their websites, find those kind of things. You're not going to do it because I know that most people suck, right? So you're not going to do it. But then on the other side of this, you put in, this is going to take slightly a bit more work than that. You're going to put in how much the expected amount that you're actually going to make from this particular institution, right? And there's the reason why it's going to take you a little bit of work. You're going to have to call that institution because they're not going to have that information public, but they know that information. They know how much you're going to make as soon as you get out from that particular degree, or they're going to have a pretty good estimate of that particular degree. And then on the other side of that, this is the last column, but the last sort of information thing that I want you to do, when you're calling and asking how much you're going to make from this degree once you get out, you want to have another column that says, what's the chance of you actually graduating, right? So then you just ask them how many people started and how many people ended and completed this particular degree, or they may call it an attrition rate or something along those lines, something sort of like along those lines. So then you just look at those numbers, look at those columns, then you subtract how much you're going to actually be expected to make, times how likely it is for you to actually finish, then subtract out how much it actually costs for that total amount or for that particular degree. And then you're going to get some expected value for all of the institutions that you have, some expected value of what you're expected to actually earn minus what it actually costs. And you can look at that, you can pick which ones actually are going to be the biggest benefit. There's massive differences between different institutions and how much you're actually spending. Some of them actually pay out, right? Like actually, if you do go and get a Harvard PhD, for example, or a Harvard DBA, it probably is going to pay off. It's one of the institutions I could probably publicly speak about and say that there's a pretty good return for it, because everybody knows it's stinking hard to get in, all that kind of stuff. There is going to be a return for your money. So you have to look at that and sort of think about, is this actually worth it? You'll realize when you do that, first of all, most institutions, it's going to be, netting you negative, right? You're going to be losing money by going to them. Almost all doctorate degrees are going to net you a negative anyways. But once you do that, you'll also get a sense of like, hey, wait a minute, I should not be. There will be a bottom half that you'll be like, holy crap, that is going to hurt if I go to those institutions. Not going to apply to them at all, right? And then you just apply to the ones that are on the top. That's it. And I know you're not going to do this because everybody sucks. And I realize this. There's going to be one person out of 100 that are going to do it, and they're going to be like, oh, thanks. But for most of you, whatever, I don't care. You make your own life choices. Go do those kind of things. But this is how you get around getting scammed. And it's going to help you out in the future. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye. Oh, give me one of these. All right. Bye. Oh, and if you suck, give me one of these because I want to know that you actually suck. All right. Bye.